Guys, Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United. This is the Europa League final for this season. That's going to be played tomorrow, Wednesday night, and of course, it's an all English final. But guys, let's first of all just talk about how these two teams just reached the final. Like, if you look at the performances of these two teams in the Premier League and the other cups of their domestic cups that they participate in, it's unimaginable that these two teams are in the Europa League final. Manchester United is 15th in the Premier League. Spurs is just below that, 16th. And they're both in the Europa League final. Like, can you imagine this? Can you imagine? Both have had such beautiful runs in the Europa League, and now they're in the final, becoming an all English final. And both sides have had a very rough season when it comes to overall stats. When it comes to domestic cups, they have had very rough seasons. Manchester United, this might be the worst ever Manchester United squad in the history of Manchester United. This is what their coach said. Okay, but I think that is, at least in the 21st century, this is the worst ever Manchester United squad ever, like in the 21st century. On the other hand, Spurs, they also have a very bad season, injuries after injuries, bad performances throughout the whole season. But look at them, they're in the final, both of them. Like, it's unimaginable, to be honest. It's unimaginable, and it's very well known that these two teams, that the way that they play in the domestic league, the domestic cups, and the way that they play in the Europa League is completely different. I haven't watched many Spurs games in the Europa League, but I've seen Manchester United games in the Europa League. It's completely different football, like completely different. Normally, you would expect Manchester United to lose a couple of these games that they just played, but it's like, how on earth did they reach the final? But guys, the thing is that when it comes to who deserves this cup more, I think that both of these sides, they equally deserve to get this cup. Okay, this Europa League, both of them deserve it, and I'm gonna tell you why. So let's start with Spurs. Spurs haven't won a trophy for a very long time. They are a club in the Premier League Big Six, and they haven't won a trophy for such a long time. I'm not sure how many years exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's like 20 plus years, if I'm not wrong. Okay, like 20 years. Like, imagine you're a Premier League Big Six club, and you haven't won a trophy for 20 years. It doesn't make sense. You need to get a trophy. So Spurs have the right of getting a trophy. Now, they have been in other finals, like the UEFA Champions League final, a couple of Carabao Cup finals in the past, in the recent years, but they haven't clinched a trophy yet. This is their chance to end their trophy drought. On the other hand, Manchester United, they have won a trophy last season. They have won a trophy the season before that. And before that, there were 6 seasons without winning a trophy. So they haven't had a trophy drought that much, like Spurs. But the thing is that Manchester United run in this, like their journey that they had in this Europa League campaign this season, it is the thing that makes Manchester United the favorite to win this cup. The reason being, out of all the games that were played until now, Manchester United haven't lost a single game. There are 14 games played total, 8 league games of the league phase, and then knockout stages. 6 games in the knockout stages from the round of 16 to the semifinals. They haven't lost a single game. Like, literally haven't lost a single game. In the league phase, they won 5 games and they drew 3 games out of those 8 games that they played. And in the knockout stages, they haven't lost a single game. And huge aggregates, and they've reached the final. So I think that for this season, Manchester United are the more favorites to win the Europa League, but that doesn't mean that Spurs do not deserve to get this trophy. Both of them have equal rights, as I said. Okay? But the thing is that both of them have such different styles of play. Manchester United, of course, their formation is a little bit, more of like a defensive to a very much attacking formation. Spurs have a very it's almost the same kind of formation, a little bit different. But the thing is that Man United, when it comes to the Europa League, it's completely different, as I said. Both of these teams, to be honest. But Manchester United even more. because there are a couple of games that were played this season in the Europa League. For example, that 5-4 win versus Lyon at the Old Trafford. Look at that game. What a game that was. A comeback in extra time. Manchester United does not do that in the Premier League. They do this in the Europa League. So in the Europa League, and they're very serious. They are literally playing youngsters in the Premier League so that they can rest players to play for the Europa League. And that they have done very good. Like 2 days ago, they lost to Chelsea. Now they're going to play the Europa League and have a chance to end their trophy drought for this season. And of course, Spurs for, 20 plus years. But guys, there's one thing that I need to mention. This season has been the season of underdogs. Like, the teams that are underdogs have been winning things this season. Like, let me tell you what's been happening so far. A team from Italy, Bologna, okay? I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but that team ended its drought of 51 years without a trophy. They had 51 years of trophy drought, and they won their first ever trophy a couple of days ago. Newcastle, they played against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final, and they beat Liverpool and got their first trophy in 70 years. Crystal Palace, just a couple of days ago, versus Manchester City, a very big team. They won 1-0 in the FA Cup final, and they got their first ever trophy in their history. Like, can you believe that? Even Harry Kane got his first ever career trophy, which is the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. So this has been the season of underdogs. And considering the Spurs haven't won a trophy for such a long time, and Manchester United did just won a trophy last season, it might go Spurs' way because of that momentum of, winning trophies for the underdogs. But we'll see. But talking about the actual match, guys, both teams have a couple of problems. Spurs might have a very bigger problems than Manchester United. Manchester United, I don't think that they have very big problems. They literally have the whole squad ready to play. So they don't have any problems. And their mentality when it comes to either losing, winning in the domestic cups, they perform well in the Europa League. But on the other hand, Spurs, they have injuries. Lucas Bergvall, Madison, Kulusevski, injured. So this is a very big blow to Spurs. They still have players like Solanke, Son, Odebert, Brandon Johnson, but still, and of course Mickey van de Ven and Christian Romero, I think they're back in the defense. But still, Spurs have a very big problem because these three players that are injured, Madison, Bergvall, Kulusevski, these are very important players when it comes to, the build-up, the attacking quality that Spurs have in their team. So it's going to be a very interesting one, okay? But the thing is, guys, that these two sides, of course, in my opinion, they equally deserve to get this trophy. I don't know who is going to get it, but it is going to be a very fire final tomorrow of the Europa League. And whoever gets this, I think it's equally deserved for everyone. And that's it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the reaction video to that match.